in the immediate aftermath of a divorce, just know and accept that it's a transition period. Week 1 after your divorce is not the rest of your life. It's week 1 after your divorce.
Yeah. And there's going to have some steps back. And it doesn't mean that, some of those things that you really want to do, all those wishes, can't come later on as a goal or a need.
Life is just going to look different than what it was. And, spend a bit of your grieving process grieving that, but move on, right? Your life is different.
And you've both heard us share stories about adjustments that we had to do for our finances when we both got divorced separately there. So
it could look similar eventually, or it could still look different, but better. You just don't know, right? But just understand and try to accept that it's not forever, and that's okay. It's a transition. So building upon that, so your needs, wants, and wishes. I did want to add something to the budget.
Yeah.
Savings needs to be part of that budget, right? So building out that emergency savings needs to be another category that is a need.
Yeah.
Right. So emergency savings, we can say, oh, well, only for emergencies, right? But let's face it, especially when you have kids or parents that are elderly, an emergency happens all the time. So it's an expense that needs to be saved for.
Yeah, broken arm, out-of-pocket costs and stuff like that.
Anything helps. So I know maybe some of you are rolling your eyes at me like, how the F can I save right now when I can barely put groceries on the table? I totally get it, but anything helps. Start with $20 a month.
Yeah.
$5 a week, something. Anything.
It's just I think part of it is also just trying to get into a good habit.
Yes.
And we've spoken, about that.
Yeah.
It's just like having that repeatable process that you keep on doing, so then it just feels natural.
Yes.
And then hopefully over time, if you earn more or you can save more, you can actually contribute more as well.
Right.
To that emergency fund or to the retirement account.
And if you must play games with yourself to make sure that you're saving this money, do it, right? So probably saving that emergency fund isn't going to work as well if you leave it in your checking account where all your expenses come out of, right? Because then you see it there and it's like, ooh, extra.
Yeah.
I can spend that extra money at the grocery. It's no.
Yeah, like I just have a separate account with the same bank, but some people like to not even be able to view that account online, or, that they have to physically go into there, some sort of barrier.
Or put it in an envelope and bury it somewhere in your apartment.
Well, let's be honest, the banks ain't paying you much interest rate at the moment anyway. The big banks, the big banks, yeah.
Right. So just do what you got to do to make sure that you don't readily spend that money and that it's not quite as available as everything else.
And if you are putting it in a separate account with the bank, just be really mindful, I guess, of fees.
Nuisance fees, because Chase City.
God damn them. Yeah.
They are jerks.
Yeah. So if you're only contributing $20 a month into this account,
they might take $5 a month.
Yeah. So there's definitely you can definitely find an account that doesn't have any minimums or no.
Exactly.
Yeah. That aren't going to gouge you like Chase.
Right. So in addition to these emergency savings and all the other things that you're accounting for in your budget, you do want to take care of the long term and start thinking about that. Okay. You need to start contributing towards your own retirement. And again, I know some of you are rolling your eyes. You're like 27. You're like, why do I need to contribute for retirement?
Yeah, I'm just going to inherit all my parents' money, aren't I?
I'm not, but
people think that.
I'm young. I don't need to save for retirement. Well,
they should be a fly on the wall in some of our clients' meetings when they say they're actually not going to give their money to their kids.
Yeah.
But they don't know that.
Exactly. Well, anyway, the point is you got to save for yourself long term and not expect your kids to take care of you. So actually, if you're one of those people that have parents that are not going to give you money, right? Because either they can't, maybe they don't have enough for themselves, or actually maybe you're taking care of them.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel? Right? That now you're obligated to take care of your parents because they weren't able to save for themselves because they thought they were doing the right thing for doing stuff for you.
And you've got kids.
And you've got kids right now. Right.
Sandwich, isn't it? Sandwich generation.
Right. So don't do that to your kids. Start saving for yourself. You are number one now. You are not part of a couple at this moment. You are number one. And number one is not your kids.
So with trying to save for those long-term goals like retirement, most employers are now obligated to offer a retirement plan. I think it's if you've got two plus
At least
employees.
in California. I don't know
Actually,
if
yeah,
it's
sorry.
federally. Yeah,
Yeah.
so every state's a little different.
Check on your state laws there, because employers should be offering a retirement plan. They might not contribute to it, but they should be offering a retirement plan for you.
And some employers do something called matching.
Matching. And what a match is, where for every dollar that you contribute, they will match it dollar for dollar up to a certain amount. Okay.
Like 3% or
Yeah.
something. So if
That's a common one used. So
yeah. So if you put in $300, they'll put in $300, which means you get $600.
free money.
That is free money, and you should, at the very least,
Try and do that.
try to get the free money.